Right, I'm going to do a 10-month review on my Polaris RZR 570. Problems we've had, my impressions of it, and let's see what you think about it. I want some comments, put them in the box below. So as you probably all know, if you've been following the channel, I've had this since December last year, 2016. It's now September 2017. Before I bought her, I did a lot of research. What was I going to buy? I was looking at the Yamaha Rhinos. The Wolverine Type R. The Can-Ams. I went right through the range. But I was specifically looking for a 50-inch wide side-by-side. I wanted 50 inches wide. Because up until December, I'd been riding a quad bike. And most of the trails I ride are very narrow. And my quad was 47 inches wide. This is 50 inches wide. And all the other ones I looked at were 60 or 62 inches wide. And there wasn't a lot of choice in the 50-inch range. So I plumped for a 570 Razor because I wanted something newer than buying a second-hand 800. And to be honest, I'd read some horror stories about the 800. I've also read some horror stories about the 570. People blowing front diffs up, destroying engines. And I don't know how they're doing it. I don't know if it's due to their lack of maintenance. They're just very abusive on them. I really don't know. Because at the end of the day, this is a single cylinder 570cc machine. It makes about 45 horsepower. But they are using the XP900 gearbox. So the gearbox is plenty strong enough for this little 570cc engine, so I couldn't figure out why they were destroying transmissions. All I can put it down to is abuse, lack of maintenance. I've had no issues with the transmission. It's been very, very reliable. Everything works on it. Turf mode works. To lock the rear diff, it works. Flip it into four-wheel drive, it works. We all know how dear the oil is for the on-demand, but we found an alternative, and I change it every 30 hours. I know Polaris say 100, but for the sake of a couple of quid and 200 mils of oil, when I'm buying it by the 5 litre, by the gallon, by the quart, by full quarts actually, it makes no point not to change it when I change the engine oil and the filter. And I also change my transmission fluid every 30 hours, so as far as fluids are concerned, I keep up with the service intervals. 30 hours I found quite an acceptable interval to change all my fluids. I've had no issues with the belts. I've not had one slip. I've not had one overheat. The original belt I changed at approximately 800 miles. And I'm beginning to think, why did I bother now? Because when I took it off, there was no signs of any cracking, no signs of any wear, no threading, no nothing no damage on the belt at all. So then, as I was in the belt casing, I changed it, and I've kept the original Polaris belt as a spare. So I've always got one with me because it's such an easy belt to change. You can do it at the side of the road if you have to. I've had one electrical issue, but I can't blame the Polaris for that. It was a faulty LED unit in one of the indicator units, because mine's road legal, so that's one component I have had to change. But since then I found out it wasn't the indicator unit, it was actually a dirty contact in the indicator stalk, so that's all been cleaned and they're working perfectly now on both indicators. I've not blown any bulbs, I've not broken anything, I've not worn anything out, I've not broken anything, I've not broken any axle shafts, I've had no CV gaiters tear, I've kept all my grease nipples greased, I grease them every 60 hours, I just flush brand new grease through them. So all in all, I am really pleased with my Polaris Razor 570. I've now got 1200 miles on it, just over 100 hours. So if you're looking for a really reliable, easily maintained side-by-side that's 50 inches wide, that can be made road legal, I highly recommend a 570 Polaris. And I believe Polaris now do a 900 in the 50 inch wide format. I've got all the intentions of keeping this for a good few years, up until the point I change it. Again, I'll be looking for another 50 inch. I don't know what I'm going to buy, but we'll just rock and roll with this 570 because she's a super piece of kit. She does everything you want to do off-road. She's got enough torque, she's got enough power. She hasn't got me stuck yet. A lot of my green lanes aren't particularly hard. But maybe next time I'll go for a 900 or a 1000 but it has to be 50-inch format, and I would more than likely buy another Polaris, because she's 3 years old next July 2018, and up until now and so far we've had no issues, we've had no problems, and she's been a brilliant side by side. So if you're in the market for a 50-inch, put it on your wish list. Go and test drive one. Find somebody who's got one, have a go in it, get them to take you out in it. It will surprise you. It's a really competent side by side. It's a cracking machine. Thank you very much. Go and enjoy your side by sides, enjoy your trail riding, because at the end of the day, it's what the 570 is. It's a trail rig. It's not a race rig, it's a trail rig. You can have a lot of fun. Thank you.